Hey, welcome back to Willie J Gaming. I'm Willie J, and today we're playing the second episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. When we last left off in the previous episode, we were practically dragged here by Sayori because she wanted us to join a club before college. Hey, welcome back to Willie J Gaming. I'm Willie J, and today we are playing the second episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. When we last left off in the first episode, we needed to write a poem for the next day in the Literature Club to show to everyone else. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. So what we basically have to do is for Natsuki, pick cute words. For Yuri, pick sad and she likes horror novels, so pick words that would fit with that. And for Sayori, just words right in the middle. Alright, so we just got through writing our poem. Hi again, Will. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I can keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Will. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you guys plan here to come and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Will always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is always so messy, it's distracting, and you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. Oh, come, you and Will can become great friends, too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri brought you something today, too, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Oh, she's blushing. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Oh, what do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't even thinking. I guess it means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet looking for her manga collection. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It also looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the very first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. but I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave to me, right? I wanted to read some of it, not for any particular reason. Just curious, how can we have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, well, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you may have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away, but it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Will? No, it's not that. I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It is a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slipped into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little bit apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open up the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. I'm sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the other side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But holding it like this, we're held even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as he's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels like an intimate exchange. Why? My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she does also second guesses all of the things that she does. Like she's afraid to do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Will, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't know if you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! I think it's about time that we share today's poems with each other. We may not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spreading from a finished thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read with you? I guess you don't have much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a little bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left the book, then slip it into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes, I did. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find something to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's one is on a wrinkled sheet of loose-leaf torn paper from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? How about Sayori? I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. This is a good poem, Will. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm just happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Will. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, am I going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning. It makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It just sounds like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I make eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. That was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first cover. I think that's because I mostly wrote the poem for Yuri. Yuri covers her mouth. Oh, he's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. Why am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly and then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of have learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their writing style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two words together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and it sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a single poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing, it must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calms breathing out the air present, but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. I'm sorry if I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is really pretty. I think that's a relief. That's a relief. I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost theory? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Will. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did just glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In that case, perhaps the subject of the poem is the only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so, nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Probably Monica. Hi, Will. Having a good time so far? Oh, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going to the flow. Just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Will. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know, but that's the sort of barrier we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Will. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. Not ooh. Ooh, like the nice ooh, not the disgusting ew. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations so low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, it worked anyway. You know, Yuri likes that kind of writing too, writing that's full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayuri, who uses simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when her readers are left to derive out their own meaning out of it. Excuse me, I just brushed my teeth. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and you'll try new things. Although I'm sure I'll end up with different things a lot. It could take a while before I'm comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased to their own kinds of styles, but I'll always find out what helps suit you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want me to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident because I'm the present. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't. Oh no. What happened? History. Poem. Oh no. Dang it. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Oh, I'm not sure how I know how to put it. I guess you can say I had some kind of elephant epiphany recently, not an elephant. It's kind of it's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when writing a poem or story, your brain gets too fixated on a certain point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, I have no other choice but to show it to Natsuki, but I don't think Natsuki's gonna like it very well, because, well, I mean, seriously, she's the one that responded the least to my poems when I was in the Chibi poem minigame. But I do like a variance of styles, a variance of writing styles. Well, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home! What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Well, maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever written, I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. This actually looks pretty nice. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. That's about it. That is pretty funny and nice. I like that. Yeah, I told you weren't gonna. I did. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't that the point of poems? For people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set it for a rhyme at the end, but I make it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess it more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to be humorous with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's that everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. These two people, Yuri and Natsuki, they have completely different writing styles. Yuri likes to write about surreal things, and she has deep, convoluted words that really bring out a message, while Natsuki's writing is great too, but it mostly uses cute words, like she did in her last poem. She didn't really go on about a long topic. She did kind of a deep topic, but she explained it with simple words. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Yuri dismissively returns to the desk with one hand. I'm assuming, I'm kind of sensing there's gonna be a fight. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. No, I think Natsuki's the one that's being rude. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Will did too. So based on that, I'll give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, Natsuki. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Will liked my poem too, He even told me he was impressed by it. The music stopped. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, well, here's the fight. I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new club member, Yuri. Yeah? That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Will appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy like you. Oh, is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one. Oh my god, I am not reading that. No. Up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned toward me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Will, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Will. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the more effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Will? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... Alright, I'm thinking this is going to be a big choice, so I'm going to save this in a different file. So I can return to this. And first I'm going to do Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I really liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone else's opinion is so different. That's not what happened to y'all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem... What did she say? That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice the guy. I'm sorry. Oh. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well. And if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Do you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, and at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps me to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. It will spare me from having to look at all of your stupid faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem and storms out of the room. On her way out, Oh no. That's horrible. She crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it into the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach and sit in her adjacent chair. Okay, now I'm going to see what happened if I chose Natsuki. Yuri, you're really talented. But Natsuki has a point. I think that I rack my brain and attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did such a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Shows how much you know. That's not... Natsuki, I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism leads to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so, you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that barely inaudible. Yuri looks at me dejectedly. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Will. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki just glances around the room. Everyone stop staring at me! Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than when she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about... I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Well, from the looks of it, it kind of seems like she meant it. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori, I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I patted Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past all that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that was worthwhile for everyone, especially you, Will. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got used to. So me joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere. No, not at all. There's still time before we go home, so let's all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we can do literature-related things from the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important thing about Literature Club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the Literature Club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Well, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kind of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Well, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Will, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori kind of hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need... He's a douchebag. Does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Alright, so that's going to wrap up day 2 of Doki Doki Literature Club. I am really excited to see the future of this game. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next, because it's such a great and interesting game. So, tomorrow, we will be writing another poem for one of the Doki Doki girls, and doing some more fun club activities, which I cannot wait to see. So until then, I'm Willie J, this is Willie J Gaming, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.